There we go.
There he is.
What's poppin'?
How are you, my man?
Excellent, man. How you doing? You got the
Good.
logo?
Oh, there you go. Yo, you're a branding machine, as I must say.
What's good with y'all, man?
Chilling, man. Just sitting here, staying out of the rain.
Hope everybody's good. Cheers, everybody.
Nice. What do you got there?
Yeah.
What do you got
Beyond these, he's out now. Tito's and soda, you know that.
there? Very popular drink. We sold a lot
You,
of
you
that
know
in the
that.
Middle East.
Yeah. I bought a lot of it at the Middle East.
Yeah, I think that was all you. Well, I think it was like the perfect combination. Is it because it doesn't have many calories in it, so you can drink a
Yeah,
shitload of
that's usually what I fuck with, you feel me?
it? I used to say the same thing. I used to drink Bacardi and diet because they said it had no calories, but I kept gaining weight
That was my thing too. It's probably because you was stuffing your face after.
in my nose.
Oh man. Oh shit. Shout out to everybody jumping in, man. I see y'all. Was good.
Yes, yes. You brought the crew. They're all rolling in now that you're here.
We'll see.
We
We'll
got
see.
people speaking Spanish about Colombia. I can't translate all of it, but
Al Capone was good. It's my guy right there. That's your guy right there.
yes, he
He's at
is.
every Leeds event ever in life.
We grew up in the same town.
Oh yeah, I know. He told me that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about he goes anywhere. You could bring fucking Ski Low when he's showing up. You know what I mean?
That might be cutting it close. That might be leaving a little too
I
much for
think he
Al
would.
Capone.
I think he would.
He might though. He might. So
Ref was good, baby.
cool. So
Doze, what's up, Doze?
so for everybody tuning in right now, we're welcome to the Leeds Edutainment Podcast. We're here with special guest Easy Money, ST the Squad, New
What's
England's
happening?
finest. Well, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, brother. You already know what it is, man. It's always love.
Yes, yes, and you've been hustling your ass off lately, so I was like, yo, I got to bring him on here because
Chilla Jones is popping. My people's hopping in. You know how we do. We gotta do the.
I'll give you a little more time before I start asking questions.
I got that from. Shout out to DJ Premier. I remember DJ Premier did the verses and shouted out everybody on the planet and that shit. Progress was good. Danny was good.
Progress in the building. How's he doing?
Cheers, man. Cheers, man. If you drinking something, let's go.
Well, I'm gonna put my water up.
That's good. That's good too. That's life, baby. Yeah, let's get it, man.
All right, cool.
Let's rock.
So what's up, man? Born and raised in Haverhill?
Born in Camden, New Jersey.
Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah, the slum of the slums. If you heard about Camden, you know that's it's crazy out there. I don't know anything about Camden. I don't know anything about Jersey, so I don't rep it. But I was born there though. But I've been in Haverhill my whole life though, brother. That's pretty much what I know.
So like, when did you move to Haverhill?
I was pretty much like this big, from what I remember.
So pretty much born, pretty much whole life.
Yeah, all my life. Yeah, but I was born in, Lady of Lord's Hospital in Camden.
Yeah.
Little fun fact: Easy Money was born in Jersey.
Cool. So yeah, I mean, me, like I said, I grew up in Essex County in Georgetown, Mass, and moved to Southern New Hampshire, Plastow. Well, Sandown, but went to school in Plastow. So I'm familiar with Haverhill. Haverhill was a very hub for a lot of us around that area. And I spent a lot of time as a kid at Building 19. My dad had a business on Ward Hill in Haverhill.
Okay.
And, I've been at Friendly's. The dollar, they had the family meal deal going on there. My mom, we didn't have much money, so we used to go there all the time. But I spent a lot of time in Haverhill. I actually lived in Haverhill. The Viewpoint Apartments on Bradford Bridge with my grandmother for a while.
Yeah.
So, Helltown.
Interesting thing about Haverhill, right, is I remember I was in like school, in high school.
Yep.
And statistically, Haverhill was like the 7th best place to live. So I just learned that from a teacher. It was random. And then now these days people act like Haverhill's fucking Compton.
Well, it was crazy when I was growing up there. It was what was it? The 8th Ave, 5th Ave, 6th Ave, all those.
Yeah, the Avs. But
we used to get
no bullshit. It was statistically the best. From what they said, statistically the best 7th best place to live. And at one point, Camden was the worst. I remember that too.
Do you think it was statistically the best because they were counting Bradford in there? Is that why they were doing that?
Possibly, it's very possible. You know what I mean? I don't know what goes into that shit. I just remember that. I just remember because this was years ago in school. You know, I heard the teachers talking about it. That's pretty much all.
I remember
Okay,
Haverhill.
we got some ladies hopping.
Oh,
Hi,
yeah.
girls.
That's why you're here. Huh?
We like
That's
that.
why we're
This
doing
is not. It don't got to be a complete sausage fest like the Middle East shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
We like that. Yeah.
So growing up there, man, were you what street did you live on?
My younger years, I bounced around a little bit, but I was always in the High Street area.
Oh yeah, so that area was no joke.
In that vicinity, I was there a lot. You know, and you know, as with time, you know, Haverhill got worse as far as like, you know, like a lot of overdoses.
Yeah.
You know, more crime and shit, but. Like people talk to me about Haverhill like it's like, oh, you live over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? They talk to me about Central Plaza where I worked for many years.
Yeah.
Like you go over there and you get your purse snatched just for breathing. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, I never thought of it that way. I mean, maybe it's just home to me, but it's home, you know what I mean? It's home.
Yeah, because it was never like there was a lot of drugs in Haverhill, you know what I mean? And there was a lot of homeless people in Haverhill. I think that's what threw a lot of people off. You'd see like Radio Joe or a few other dudes that were like
Crazy Mike.
Crazy Mike. Yeah, you see Crazy Mike like
Rest in peace.
And he passed away. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he passed away a few years back. He's you know, one of very few Haverhill legends along with myself.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, Crazy Mike and Easy Money, who was bigger? But I think that was what threw a lot of people off because there was probably I'm guessing there were shelters there in Haverhill. So
yeah.
But that area though, that was the area besides Lawrence. You know, Haverhill was kind of more of a hectic city than.
Yeah, I mean, we right next to each other. I mean, hectic more hectic than Lawrence. I wouldn't say that. No,
I'm saying like the other towns around it. Like, you know, like it's not as bad as Groveland and Plastow and
no.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, my boy Kane just said Dennis still kicking. Dennis on the bike. Remember Dennis on the bike with the glasses?
Dennis?
I don't know if maybe he was more Plastow. He was this guy who always collect cans on the bike driving through.
Yeah, I do remember a few of those guys though. A few of them that would run around with the bags on their handlebars and shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember that. Yeah.
That's the Haverhill I remember.
But it's home though, brother. It's home. You know what I mean? So to me, it's I don't know.
All right. So growing up there, that where you met Term though, right? Because Term moved to Haverhill. Right?
Yeah. You know, for the people that John Hope, what's up? For the people that haven't heard this story before, I found Term literally in a tree.
Really?
So yeah, so when we were kids, like 13, 14 years old, when you go to the park, there's a Central Park. It's a Central Street, and then Central Street comes off of High Street, and then you know, we was all playing football over there, and we was down one person, and Term just moved into the area, and I seen somebody in a tree, and I'm like, yo, you want to come play football? That's literally how I met Term.
Huh?
Like literally, literally, yeah. We've told the story before, but you know. Some people probably still don't know that. And then from there, it wasn't like a music connection right away. We was just like, you know, kids. That was cool. And then, you know, with time, you know, sometimes you grow apart a little bit. And then we ran into each other at a house party. And then, you know, he was rapping. And I remember I was trying to battle him. And he was like kicking like some rhyme about a shorty. And it was mad weird. But that's how kind of like we discovered, you know, the whole music thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Term was recording in a studio. VS, what's up? Term was recording in a studio, and you know, I was the guy that didn't give a fuck. Like, you know, I could do it, but I was like, whatever. And then one time he convinced me. Shout out to my man Ellis Hall. He had a studio in Quincy, and that was the first studio I recorded in. And, you know, Term and I drove. Yeah, Term and I drove there and motherfucking, like, literally blizzards and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, from the beginning, Term was determined. Like, he had, like, there was, like, nothing else for that dude. That's why, what he's doing now is just not, it never surprised me. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the things is like, oh, shit, dope. Like, it's still dope when, you know, certain things happen. But to me, none of it is a shock. None of it is a shock because that's just always what he wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember we was in a fucking beat up. He was driving like a beat up like Cavalier or something like that in the snow, driving a Quincy to record. You know what I'm saying? Like risking our lives, literally. You know? So yeah, that's how it started, man. And then you fast forward and we came. I don't remember if it was my idea, his idea about forming a group, and yeah, that should happen. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so you guys started rapping around the same time, or he rapping before you? Is that what it was?
Well, he was rapping in the studio before me. He was literally the guy that dragged me into the booth.
Word. And was he like, let's form the group that you guys formed? Now you were at this time were rapping under the name Ed Rock, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing was like and shout out to Ed OG. Like I literally had no clue that he went by Ed Rock. He was always Ed OG to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I had no idea about that. I would never do no shit like that. I don't think him and I ever spoke about that. But so like,
well, my name is actually Edward, and you didn't get permission from me either. So, it's all good now. Playing. It's all good.
Yo, but you know how back in the day it was like you just add rock or ski. You know what I mean? It was one of those things. So, yo, Ed Rock in school, my man Angel from school would call me Ed Rock, and it kind of just stuck. So where I didn't really care about the whole thing, I didn't think about coming up with a rap name or none. That just stuck. And then, moving forward, I'm like, all right, it's time to 2K it. You know what I'm saying? Tech, what's up, baby?
So just term, you guys just, I remember seeing you guys, at the Middle East when I was still not even a promoter yet, opening up on shows as Street. You and Term, probably late 90s, early 2000s as Street. I think the song was, I think I even had the 12-inch. Shout out Peter Parker. Bangin', was that it? Bangin', the first single?
Yeah, but the A side was Heat. Rest in peace to my man Eddie Bones from the Schizophrenics. He produced it. Yeah. And my brother Rex was featured on it. That was actually the A side, but people gravitated more towards the Bangin' record. Shout out to DC and Millie Alien. He produced that. And even G-Spin used to run it when G-Spin was in charge of the launch pad, ran it a lot. So that was a song that everyone kind of gravitated towards. And yeah, so a lot of people thought that was like the main drip, but that was actually the B-side.
Word. So let's talk about that era. What was that like? What were you guys doing? What was the moves you were making back then? Like, as the combo.
Bro, me and Term, no bullshit. Me and Term, we did shit like, that's why like this internet shit is crazy to me, and like just the general sense of entitlement that so many artists have these days. Term and I used to go to bars and get the big X's, perform and bounce all over Boston. We did it all over Boston. I'll never forget. Shout out to my man Esoteric, Boston legend. Super legend. One time we did a show and we came off stage and he came and gave me props. And Term was like, yo, you know who that is? I'm like, hell no, I don't know who that is. And he told me who he was, but I was familiar with the records because Term had them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was dope that dude was in like a little hole in the wall spot. Listen, you know what I mean? Because I knew he had a record. back then having a record was a bigger deal. When you're a younger person, it's a bigger deal than what it is now. Because, you think, we used to, the big misconception is you got a record out, you rich, and you know what I'm saying, this and that and the third.
Yeah.
Another story is Term and I, shouts to Marlon from Inebriated Rhythm. But one time he had a Ford Expedition or Explorer, and we were literally in the trunk, him and I. There was like, 7 or 8 of us drove to Montreal, and we drove in the trunk, Term and I. We were like at this point we were like 19. That's a fact too. Like the back, you're not like closed in, but you know how the Explorer or whatever. I don't know if it was Explorer Expedition. Term and I literally at the age of 19 drove in the trunk to Montreal, but it was popping on because we was legal out there at that age. So it was we were doing all that shit, and it's like I remember Term and I a couple girls had brought us to prom, and Term bounced on Shorty to go rap in a tuxedo at Bill's Bar. That's why all this. That's why like I'm telling you, like everything that he's doing is just like,
yeah.
I was never shocked by it. You know what I mean? But that kid just wanted that's all he wanted.
Yeah.
And that's all he knew from a very young age, you know?
And so how are you different then? You know, where did you find like you saw how he was doing, but there was things you didn't want to do, that you didn't want to work like that? Was it like your mentality towards the rap game was a little different? What was your
Yeah,
mentality?
it was. There was multiple things. Like I didn't think it was attainable. You know what I'm saying? There was things like that. I didn't care. I was fucking around a lot. You know what I mean? So, you know, what do they say? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much prime example right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that he's not. That kind of sounds like a shot. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
just saying that was the difference. You see him. I mean, put it this way: I was in jail getting letters from Term with pictures of him and Deadeye in Greece, in Switzerland, and fucking Japan.
so you got locked up after Street.
Yeah, yeah. So another thing too, though, is that after we dropped a single, you know, I kind of got down with some cats that you know that signed me, and they were
Yeah, let's
more on the
talk
street.
about that. Are we allowed to
Yeah.
talk about that?
I mean, yeah, of course. Why not? So I
Who
got
was it?
shout
Was
out
it
my man Logo. I'm
was
saying.
it Carson Daly who signed you? Were you signed to Carson Daly's
Oh,
label?
hold up. You moving too fast right now.
Oh, okay.
So I was running with these cats. My man Lodo, my man Lou. So
Yeah.
you know they had a little label. He actually had MIA. He's the one that got Crumb the deal on Interscope.
Oh, okay. I know him.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Yep. So, but it wasn't MIA anymore. So I'm doing that. Term ended up doing a 12-inch with Detonator. Shout out to Pete. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of went our ways. It was never, you know, I was on the fucking B side of his vinyl.
Yeah.
So it was never a thing where it was like where it wasn't love. And I mean ever.
Right.
So him and I have never felt. I mean we disagreed like just like any brothers do, but it's never been no bullshit. You know what I mean? It's been strong from the jump.
Absolutely.
So we do that. So when I was running with these cats, you know, you make your rounds through New York and all that, and then it's like I ended up Steve Rifkin's brother, John, was fucking with Carson Daly. Carson Daly had a label. It was 456. They had just signed the Jackass dudes or whatever. It was called Viva La Bam, Viva La Bands.
Okay.
They put out a compilation called Viva La Bands, and it was rock and roll. I actually signed with them. There was no bread, no nothing, and it was like I signed with them, and then like nothing happened. I recorded an album. I still got the master. Put it away. Master cutting room, mastered it. I still have it.
Yep.
And it was called Extraordinaire.
Mm.
And you know, we had, you know, it was mostly like, you know, my people's Artisan, Jay Cardam, but you know, we had a Notch joint on there. You know what I'm saying? But that shit just nothing ever happened.
What, they just shelved it?
I don't know what happened. Look, my man was dealing with them, you know, but I was like, check this out, right? Every time I came around these dudes, bro, like, it was like partying hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know how white boys party, son. Like that, son. The exact stereotype. Like, just imagine the white boy stereotype, and that's exactly what it was. Like, no offense to nobody, but you know what I'm getting at.
I do.
And I was like, yo, it's always this shit, but I just always felt like nothing was going on. Like, you know, from a productive standpoint. And you know, that was weird to me, but it kind of just faded, it fizzled out. We was doing everything on our own. But like what I think they were gonna do was distribute it. Cause yo, I met with Matty C too, the guy that brought Biggie the Puff.
Yep.
I had met with him as well. And he was kind of the one that situated it all, that kind of like, you know, connected the dots on that. And I never told nobody. Cause I always believed in not counting your chickens before they hatch. Like, I'm not gonna tell everybody, oh, I'm gonna go sign this deal, and then when it falls through, I just look weird, you know what I mean? So it's like I always kind of kept that shit to myself. But yeah, I was going through that, and then you know, obviously Term was going on, it was on his way, grinding it out, connecting his dots, and then you know, Term did the record with Premier, and released the album through Show Off and all that, and then things started moving for him. You know, I was, you know, the people that I was dealing with, you know, we were all. I'm not here to paint it like I was fucking like on some Escobar type shit, but you know, we was out there. I was out there, you know.
Hold
So
up.
I did my little time, and then when I came home, like I was really inspired by the shit T was doing, because T was going to the radio stations. Yo, free easy money. I'm doing this. I got this album out. He's playing songs featuring me. I'm like, damn, son, like it's time.
What year is
So
this now? I'm trying to think. I think
09,
oh nine.
09
Okay.
and 10. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I broke from that, and then kind of, you know, but it's all love. Those are still my people. And then, you know, Term and I kind of just, you know, I started rocking with Term and Static.
Yeah. I'm just looking at your
And, you know,
albums right now. So just to backtrack a little bit. So after Street, you go solo, working with these dudes, get a couple deals, hustling in the streets, end up crashing, getting locked up. Correct? Out by
yeah,
2009?
I was out in 2010.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
In that time, I remember you winning a Super Bowl battle. I remember that. I was
That
actually
was
one of
before I even got locked up, though. That was
okay, but before
the
this,
year that the Pats won the first Super Bowl.
yeah, I was there.
I won it.
I was there.
Yeah, I won that.
You were angry as hell.
And I'll never forget. I'll never forget. Yeah, I probably was.
You won.
I'll
Listen,
never forget.
You won all that money, and you still look pissed. You were like, oh, "Fucking won this."
Yeah, that was. But you know how it is. You know. I had to try to play the rapper role. You know that dumb shit that you do when you're young.
Rex is
But
screaming your name, and you're just like, "Fuck out."
yo, but the best part about that though was I vividly remember Mike Styles coming to me and telling me, shouts to Mike Styles, that's my man. Like, this is not no, you know what I mean, no whatever. But yo, you're not gonna win, but it's good promo. And I looked at him and I was like, okay. And then we all seen what happened. It was the only one I did too.
Yeah, because
you
weren't really known for being a battle rapper. You were more like, you were a good
at that
rapper.
time I certainly was.
Were you?
Certainly was at that time.
You were a battle rapper?
That's all I did. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I can still do it now. I'll still do it now.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you more like, bars and shit, but I didn't think it was like battle,
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the bars, it's very battle oriented.
You're right. Okay, I guess.
I was, and the younger me was very, very, very punchline heavy too.
Word.
So like when you fast forward to now, where we're at with Beyond Easy, which is out now for those that don't know, you hear the growth and you hear the evolution. There's a lot less punchlines and. But I was very battle driven. Even, shout out to Math and Misfit, and then we did when Term went to Max Split Opinion with them, to Mass Podcast. I was over there talking crazy, and I almost got me a battle, like last year. Then COVID hit, like we were setting it up, we were talking about it. Math wanted me to battle his man, and I was pretty much ready to do it. And then COVID hit, and everything slowed down. I'm not as excited as I was about that now, but yeah, I was ready. I was ready.
I always tried to get you to do battles, and you were like, nah, or like I thought I would have seen you in one of these like acapella battles, King of the Dot type thing. You never did any of that either. You never wanted to do that?
No, I didn't. But that was the whole thing with like Poison Pen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, shouts to Poison Pen. He's very, very, very heavy in the battle community. Sometimes he would be like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Because I get around these battlers and I talk wild shit. That's just, just my personality. Shout out to my man Chilla Jones. He's the best
you're
ever.
tight with Chilla too, right?
Yeah, that's my man. He's like the best battler ever. And I be telling him, yo, bro, I'll destroy you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just the competitive edge that we have.
Yeah.
And when I tell him that, he laughs because he feels like he'll destroy me. And that's how you're supposed to think as an MC. Like, what these kids need to understand these days is that all this friendly, sensitive pussy shit that goes on these days is not how it was. It was very competitive. Hip-hop is, I'm not even going to say was, hip-hop is a contact sport. And back then it was, yo, what's up? Like, you run into me, I run into you, and it's like, okay, you nice, so I'm nice too. And we got busy. Now it's like, okay, well, we're not in the studio, so I can't put the fucking auto-tune on my neck, so we can't rap now. It's just weird, you know what I mean? It's way different. It's way different, and it's evolved, and it's cool, but it's just a completely different time, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So when did you get out of jail? Is that when you changed your name?
No, that was before that.
You changed your name before.
I don't know the exact year, but I kind of like did it as like when I was doing mixtapes, I'd be Ed Rock, aka Easy Money, so I can kind of like ease it in.
Yep.
And then, when I was out, it was just easy money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I just, and it's crazy because I forget, there's certain things that I remember vividly, bro. Certain things. And Ill and P,
Yep.
you know Ill and P, that's
Oh,
my
yeah.
guy, another Boston legend. And he was kind of like saying something all right, so let's rewind it. There was a show at Bill's Bar. It was called the Up and Coming show. And these two motherfuckers from Haverhill and Lawrence get on stage. And yo, when I tell you we like completely destroyed that shit as kids, I'm talking about tore the shit down. And this is when we used to freestyle off top, and I was like completely the GOAT, no debate. I'm talking about, yo, the shit was just wild. And I got off, and LMP was like, yo, he said something to me in the effect of like, that I was biting, but I proved myself. And I didn't understand that. And I was kind of like, yo, hold up. Then I got distracted because everyone's showing love, whatever. So P and I got cool. And then it was the whole Ed OG was Ed Rock. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I had no idea. Ed OG had, albums that I own as Ed OG. I never knew him as Ed Rock. And like I said, it was like I didn't care. I wasn't thinking of a name. It was just something that they called me that just stuck.
Huh.
You feel me?
So Ed OG was actually going by Ed Rock? That was an alias?
I guess so.
I never heard
I guess
that
so. I guess so. So I didn't know that. I had no idea, but like I had zero clue that was the case.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I've never heard that. Or
so, yeah, but it's definitely official because shout out to Dart Adams. He's fucking.
Oh God,
he's like the hip hop Wikipedia, and I seen him tweet one time. He tweeted, something related to Ed OG and called him that, and I was like, okay, there it is. Like he's not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like Dart, he's fucking.
Yeah. We don't want to go against.
Especially when it's related to Boston, especially.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to argue there. I didn't know that though. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I had no clue, and I always felt the way about that. I'm like, damn, this dude probably thinks like I just blatantly bit him and was cool with it. Like obviously, I would never do that. You know what I mean? And then I guess there's an ad rock. There's an ad rock too.
Yeah, that's Beastie Boys.
The Beasties, yeah. I didn't even know that. But all respect to the Beastie Boys, but I knew them as the Beastie Boys. I wasn't like I'll never not acknowledge their influence and their impact, but I was never into the Beastie Boys.
They party like white boys.
Oh no, for sure. I believe that. I believe that shit. So I wasn't even aware of ad rock either. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. Like it was just something that they called me, and that was that. You know what I mean?
It's all good, man. I mean, we're from an era where we don't bite, so like I don't think you intentionally did anything wrong.
No way.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those things where it's like when dudes heard it, but then when they heard me rhyme, it was like maybe give him a pass. I don't know how they thought, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like one of those things,
Yeah. Because that's the thing is like you and Term were the youngins out of that era. Because I was there watching.
Yeah.
You guys were like
man.
16,
shout to the Schizophrenics. Yo, shout to the Schizophrenics.
Yeah.
MSC,
Yep.
OVM,
Yep.
Acrobatic, Lift, 7 and Esoteric. Like, yo, dog, like we really, like I always looked up to those guys because those guys were like getting it. I heard fucking I heard about Ack and Lift doing shows overseas, and that shit was like a foreign, no pun intended, like a foreign concept to me. So I always saluted, but yeah, we were the young guys.
Yeah, you were.
Everyone's a young guy at one point, right?
No, but you guys are really like the rookies that coming up.
Yeah.
You really were.
Sure.
And you proved yourselves too, man. You really did. You hung with some pretty heavyweights for that Boston era.
And Leeds, we did it. The way we did it though is that we wasn't paying to get on shows. We weren't paying these guys for this. We weren't, it was, we just went, we showed up, we fucked shit up, and that was that.
Yeah. Well, back then it was
wasn't
like
no political shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't no political shit.
Well, back then it was like a set crew of openers. I used to remember because they go to show, you always see you guys or Lift, all these guys we just named. It wasn't a lot of not the variety that it became.
Yeah,
it was like you had to be really good to get those slots.
Yeah, and then the one of the hurdles, if you want to call it that, is we weren't from Boston, so that rubbed some of the Boston cats the wrong way. But it was like, yo, I was never trying to like claim it. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother thing.
Well, me and Term actually had that conversation, and it really just came down to like Boston's where the shows were at. You know, the shows
Yeah.
weren't in
Yeah.
Haverhill. They weren't at River City Billiards.
Exactly. Exactly. You
They
weren't at
weren't
the
at the
chit chat.
Lasting
You know what I'm
Room.
saying?
They weren't at the Lasting Room.
Exactly. Exactly. So you know, and you know, and it's funny. It's funny because like even these days, like there's some cats who make a real like effort to kind of like they don't like Boston hip hop, the term. They want like okay, so Millie's, shout to Millie's. You know, Millie's is doing his fucking thing. Like
He's
I'm super
Cambridge.
proud of Millie's because you know, huh?
He's Cambridge.
Yeah, I know that he's from Cambridge. You know what I'm saying? And you know, when I was fucking with Jay Carter, you know, that's how I met Millie's because they were around the same people. And he's real adamant about that. Yo, it's massive, you know, and that's cool. I love the idea of everyone having their own identity. I just don't see it ever not being the Boston hip hop scene.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I go New England hip hop. That's what I call it because
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
Patriots. I say New England
yeah. No,
because
and that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it because that covers everybody. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But you know,
Because I was in New Hampshire going to fucking the Middle East. You know what I mean? Like I was
shout out
driving
to my
from
yeah, exactly. Shout out to my man Fabian just jumped in. What's good, Fabe?
word.
Beyond D's, he's out now. Yo, for anybody in here, real quick, I have a link tree in my bio, and I'm on Twitter. I'm at Easy Money ST everywhere. Same name here is the same name everywhere, and you know you could stream everything. Chilla Jones, what's up? I think did Chilla just jump in? Did he miss the part where I was telling you that I always tell him I'm 3-0 when I see him, and he laughs at me?
I think Chilla missed where you said you were a better battle rapper than him.
Oh yeah, for sure. He knows that. But you know what? I can't really say that because he's out there really doing it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like he's out there really. Listen, Chilla Jones is the best battle rapper in the world right now, like literally. And that's not me being biased. That's actual fact.
No, he's on everything.
He's a champion of the year, right? He got the big ass bag. Yo, matter of fact, nigga, you better buy me a drink or something, Chilla, because I know they give you a bag for that shit. So you're the champion of the year. And then, you know, and it's not only that, it's the manner in which he did it. You know, clearly beat K-Shine, clearly beat K-Dot, had a lot of classes with a lot of big dogs. You know, and I'm proud of him. And we dropping the EP end of the year, Chilla and I.
Good.
It's gonna be this big bar fest, and Manipulator's gonna produce the whole thing.
I like that.
Yeah, you know, shout out to Manipulator. Manipulator is super dope.
Yeah.
He's a DJ. He's a fucking beat maker. He's a fucking video director. He's just this one huge nerd.
Yeah.
But he's cool though. You know what I mean? Like DJs, edits videos. Like I could never even know where to begin doing that shit. But his beats are super smashing.
Yeah, he's slept on right now. He's up and coming. People
yeah, but you know what? Like, hey, like we just said, everyone's the rookies at some point.
Yeah.
Right now, he's a rookie. He's gonna get his due. All he gotta do is keep working hard and keep making them beats smash. That's it. He's on Beyond Easy. Matter of fact, the track he produced on Beyond Easy features Chilla Jones as well, and my brother Deadeye. So make sure y'all check that out, man, because there's a lot more work. We just dropped the video with produced by Buck Wild for Cash for Gold.
Yep.
The video for Money Can Buy, produced by Static Selectors on there. Static got 2 beats on there. Buck Wild got 2 beats on there. Ransom is on there. Term is on there. Nems is on there. So, and let's not forget, I just dropped Haffy, EP produced by Short Fuse, just in December. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Lucky Dice. We were just talking about MSC right now. Shout out to Lucky Dice that's in here. But yeah, man, look out for that. So check this out, right? Just real quick. We can get back to wherever we were at. So Haffy was in December. Beyond Easy was in March. Next month in June, I have an EP called 2090. That's done. It's done. It's mixed and mastered. It's ready. Just shot a video produced entirely by a producer named Nozees. He's from Virginia. He reached out to me through here. He has some fire shit. The reason why I call it 2090 is because his beats sound like from the 90s.
Oh, work.
But we got to bring it forward and not backward. So I got that. So that'll be the third one since December. Then I got another album with Melks that's just about done. That's gonna drop as well, and then we're gonna drop the one with Chilla. So I'll have 5 projects in a year's time, and I'm almost done with the R&B shit. So look out for that too.
R&B? Does that mean we're hearing?
Yeah, R&B. I got an R&B EP.
Are you singing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Straight singing. None of that. None of that cheating. Shit sound like you singing into the fan. None of that T-Pain shit. Even though T-Pain fire, that's a bad way to put it. But yeah, it's a real R&B record, and I got 3 songs finished, and we're gonna do maybe 1 or 2 more and drop an EP. Shout out to my man Sean Caliber from Surefire, because he's really, has a big hand in putting that together and co-writing with me and arranging it.
Right. It's crazy to see you on your grind, man, right now.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. So
I'd like to talk about that a little bit because, for those that are listening, what you just witnessed was some really good guerrilla marketing and promo tactics from an independent artist who was really plugging his stuff, because and if you could see him, he keeps hanging his head up. And that's the era that we come from, where you had to do that to break through on the street, because there was no social media. There was no these internet avenues that you could get your music heard. What you're doing is a tactic, and that is, you still carry those skills with you. I'm amazed because you're still on it.
And that's why it's killing me. That's why it's killing me, and I know it's killing you. Like, we're not doing no shows.
Wow.
Because all this merch goes when I'm at the shows. The CDs, the hats, the shirts. You know what I mean? I need to be at show. You know what really hurt me, bro, is that you had the 25th anniversary of the Infamous lined up.
I did.
And I was opening. And that album means so fucking... That album is the world to me. That is a top 2 hip-hop album for me ever.
So I was going to ask you that. Is Mobb Deep your biggest influence? I figured Prodigy was.
So for the street, for Termanology together, yes, easily. Like we completely tried to model our shit after Mobb Deep. Completely, 100%. There was no way around it. When G-Spin heard banging, he was, that sound like a young Mob.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And when there was, shout out to my man Dre Rob. G-Spin was really pushing Dre Rob. He wanted to sign, not him, but whoever he was dealing with. They were talking about, getting me in Term, but then Term and I went our separate ways.
Yep. You
know what I mean? So that's another little fun fact. But Mob as a group, Mob, EPMD, Smith and Wesson, all the duos, man. They, you know what I'm saying? Like, even Outkast, Term and I real super hip hop heads, but Mob is definitely the main one, and you hear it in the music. I mean, that's certainly the biggest influence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a shame that show got canceled. That was a shame.
Oh, yeah, that shit broke my heart, bro. I'm like, damn, this shit couldn't wait like 2 more months.
Yeah.
It was like April, right?
Yeah, it was April.
I was tight. Nah, but it's not going to be the 25th no more.
April 25th we were going to do it, I think.
Yeah, but it's not. Hell, MOP too. Yeah, shout out to my man in the comments with the MOP comment. Hell yeah, MOP. Shout out to Little Fame. That's our big bro. So, like the 25th, it's not going to be the 25th anniversary no more. The 26th just passed. That's what hurt me. And for what that album meant to me, and yeah, that shit was whack.
So
and
let's talk about Mobb Deep, because I want your perspective on it. Because me, I'm a fan. Obviously, the Infamous. I'm gonna start to say, Hell on Earth is great, and then what's that? The Murder Music. What do you think after that? After those 3 albums? I think those 3 albums are obviously classic. Are you still listening to them after that? You still loving it?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna keep it real. There was certainly a decline.
Decline in what?
And just in the output, like the shit wasn't, those 3 albums you just named, back to back, 3 straight classics, front to back, banging. You let them rock, I mean, that's that. You don't gotta push no buttons. You let them rock, right? You go to Infamy, and I think a lot of it had to do with, Have trying new shit. I feel like P, rest in peace, declined a little bit lyrically. I feel like HNIC was amazing too, though, if you want to count that.
So is that?
It's not Mob, but
do you like the Prodigy solo projects equally as good?
HNIC, bro, I used to almost flip TVs over when I heard Keep It Thorough, bro.
That's the introduction of like Alchemist is into the mix.
No, Keep It Thorough is one of my favorite records ever.
Right.
Like Prodigy, listen, Prodigy, Prime Prodigy is one of the best MCs that ever lived.
Yep.
And like at that time was one of the guys.
I'll give you that.
With including Jay and Nas and DMX, rest in peace, who were all very relevant at that time. Prodigy was right the fuck there.
Absolutely.
No questions asked. You know what I'm saying? Even as a solo cat. And it's like, Prodigy was just in my opinion, one of the dopest voices alone that we ever heard in hip hop. Bro, like who's been sampled more? Who's been sampled and scratched more than Prodigy? Like, it's like Biggie and Rakim are probably the only arguments in terms of rap.
Maybe Guru. Guru been scratched a lot.
He has, but I think in the later years, but I feel like through it all, it's been like Big Rye and Prodigy, and I love that. But you know, and you know what was the last Mob album when they did the Infamous again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't
Like
understand that. They
2015.
renamed the album The
I
Infamous.
love I love that album. I love
Used the
that
same
album.
album, same album title twice. I was like,
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what the idea was behind it, but I love that album
they
though.
didn't put
You know what
part
I'm saying?
two, nothing. It's just the
Yeah, just Infamous. Yeah.
that
But
was
I love
funny.
that shit, man. You know, rest in peace, Prodigy. Shouts to Have. That's one they you know one of the best that ever did it, man. In terms of hip hop groups, no
Yeah,
questions asked.
and did you go to those Mob Deep shows at the Middle East? You were there, right?
I've been to one Mobb Deep show,
Oh man, they were
one
fire,
Mobb Deep
bro.
show,
They were
and
fire every time,
and
every
and,
time,
and you know
fire.
I just you know the influence, man, like the influence it had on the East Coast sound, not me. Never mind Termini, like the East Coast sound. That influence is just like can't front on that, brother.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
So I want to also talk about the 2015 album, The Motive of Nearly Everybody
yeah,
Yo, right? It's
yeah. The money,
basically
the money.
the money.
Hmm.
That felt like a big comeback album for you. Like,
Yeah, it was because I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you. Will you finish your
I
question?
was gonna say like what you team up with Static on this one because it's Show Off Records
Yep,
on this one, right?
yep,
And that was
yeah,
like you guys. I felt like you had like reawoken. Like
yeah,
you're.
for sure.
I mean,
Um,
you got to join on there with Primo, Ninth Wonder, Terms on it, Joey Badass, Action Bronson, Wise P, Lil Fame. I mean, it's
Buck
stacked.
Wild,
Buck
Buck Wild.
Wild. Let me know if I'm missing
So
anything on that.
yeah, the so with that album, that was kind of like you know, like I had recorded an album and released the album with my man Jay Carter called Hard Body. So that's technically my first album.
Were those all
You know what I'm saying?
mixtapes? Because those aren't on streaming or anything.
You can't stream that, but I'm probably gonna get that up there soon.
All right, cool.
But so with the money, it was like I was considered like my introduction to the game. Like had like kind of like you know, had a foot in, yeah. And then you know to have Premiere on it, bro. Like you guys
How did
don't
that
understand.
happen? How did the Primo collab happen?
Well, you know, Term got 13 fucking songs with Premiere, and Primo was like, you know, Static is like his little white boy son. Like
Ooh,
Primo loves those guys, like loves those guys. And without that relationship that they have with them, that doesn't happen for me.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, running around with Term, I had met Premier several times, and you know, he was familiar with the Free Easy Money campaign when I was locked up too. So he was familiar with that. And then, so when we decided that I was gonna drop the album with Static, what's up, Alicia? I see you. And then we decided we was gonna drop the album with Static, and then Static was like, "Yo, I'm about to drop Easy Money album. I need the Primo joint." So I was like, "Shit, it's going down." So that happened, and you know that's
Do you record
that's a
that? Do you record that in his studio?
headquarters, yeah.
Nice, dude.
And you know, bro, that headquarters doesn't exist anymore,
I
bro.
know, man. That's legendary.
Like you don't understand, yo, son. I don't need nothing else. If I never recorded another song or dropped another album or didn't sell a record, I don't care. I'm content with that. I'm a kid from Haverhill, Mass, who did a song with DJ Premier. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm in the video with the Haverhill hat, and he's in the video with me. Like you know, like and you know, Static and Turn would tell me, yo, you don't understand, like. Preem don't be doing videos for motherfuckers and shit, you know. But on the strength for them, he looked out. He was trying to give it that extra push, and when the shit dropped, he was pushing it hard. And he's just like he's just such an honorable goat. You know what I mean? He's a
We
very,
talk about
very,
this all the time.
very honorable goat. Like, you know, they say you don't want to meet your heroes, and you know all the legends are pieces of shit. DJ Premier is certainly an exception.
Yep.
Like without question, he's like the coolest guy. And when you just factor in what he's accomplished, like yo, bro, like these rappers be brand new, haven't done nothing, and they act like they'll see you and act like they don't know you, like you know, diss their fans and shit. And Primo's out there just showing everybody love.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. You know what I mean? It's about showing love and staying humble. And you know, back to Beyond Easy. Beyond Easy was really about paying it forward. that album was really about paying it forward because I ran into this kid who's in his, mid to late 20s. He's dead nice, young, fly Puerto Rican kid. Remind me of myself when I was young. That's how when I saw Fave and I heard Fave, I'm like, damn, this nigga's me, younger, and not as stupid and hard headed.
Yep.
So I said, yo, I forgot how it kind of started, but it was like, yo, you ever do a track with Static? And it was like, nah. I'm like, all right, let's I wanted to put him in those positions where he was doing tracks with heavyweights and really make a dope fucking album. Because I heard that, he got dope music, but I was like, I'm going to take this kid there. Yeah. So this shit was about paying it forward. And it was really, like, I don't want to be that disgruntled OG. I don't feel like I'm ever going to be an OG because I feel young and marvelous as ever. But I don't want to ever be that guy. You know what I mean? And Premier, he embodies that. Yeah. To go back to Premier, he really embodies that. And he's just like, he's the man, bro. Yeah. Did you nail the verses in one take? Hell no. So I was in headquarters. Yeah. And I don't really care about meeting rappers, and I don't care about all that other shit or get rattled by any of that. And so I'm in there. I'm cool. So I go there. I craft the verses, and I get in the booth, and then I start looking around the booth, and it kicks in: Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, Big L, Guru. Then I kind of got my palms started sweating. Yeah. Yo, Deadeye, give me a little Deadeye. Let me get a beer. Like that shit started. Deadeye was in there with me and Snuck, and they was like, yo, that shit was a moment for me. Clearly, my most satisfying hip hop moment, like without question. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit was just, you know what it is, man. You know what it is. You know what it means. You know what it means to
When I did my first when I did my first Premier show, it was Premier versus Pete Rock, the beat battle. Yeah, it was that same feeling. I was like, man, I'm throwing this event with two of the greatest hip hop producers of all time, battling on the stage and promoting that, and I got I was kicking it with them backstage, and I was like, man, it was hard. I don't get rattled easy either. I usually keep it very business. I don't even like talking to the artist a lot of time just because of that. But that time, I was like, man, this is what it's all come down to right here. That show was bananas.
And it's like, yo, it's just like, but my thing is also this, though, Leeds, is that I'm never going to be too cool to be a fan of hip-hop.
Right.
I love this shit so much. The reason why I continue to put out music is because I'm a fan. I'm such a fan of hip-hop that I want to continue to contribute to the culture that I love, that molded me as much as I could. I'm not trying to be a famous rapper, bro. This shit does not pay me, bro. Everything I got is not because of rap.
I got that.
If that was the case, I'd be having this conversation, on a cardboard box on the sidewalk somewhere. You feel me?
I do.
So I'm very blessed. Very blessed. My kids are fed. They're clothed, and everything is cool. And I'm in a position where I can pump out this music at the rate that I want. And I just feel like I caught this. I just got inspired. And it's like, boom, you're gonna get 5 projects from me this year. 4 minimum, but 5, more probably 5.
On the Money album, I will say though, most times I say the DJ Premier joint is the best, hands down. And on this one, I almost make an exception with the Ninth Wonder joint, the Taking It With Me joint. And I don't say that often and the reason I say that is because your lyrics and your message on that one about, you can't take everything with you, man. It's just such a powerful concept, and that just stuck with me. And that's a great friggin' track. Let's talk about that one.
Thank you. Well, I've met Ninth Wonder. I don't have a relationship with him. Shouts to Static. He made that happen completely. Yeah. And then but I'm grateful, man. Ninth is another legend. And that believe it or not, that record, the general consensus, I got a better reaction from that record. Yeah. Than the previous one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's cool. Like they can both be dope. You know what I'm saying?
But
they can both, and I shot the video in Cali, and I got clapped up in the end, and I was on my fucking Mark Wahlberg shit when I got clapped up in the end of the video. You know what I mean?
What made that concept sink in with you, man? Like the concept, like,
So
because it
with
feels
the
like
album
you're
was called,
taking on. As I
so
see, if I see this concept of this song and I see God first on your T-shirts, I'm seeing like a spiritual change in you, and it seems
well,
like, well, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's always been there, but it seems like something's going on.
the thing is this though, it's like the concept of the money, like even with the CD packaging, it
Yeah,
was a wallet.
right.
It was a wallet that folded out. So everything had to do with money. So what I did was even on the CD, I separated it. I did like an A and a B side, dollars and cents.
Right.
But it was cents, SENSE, more conceptual. You know what I mean?
Yep. Gotcha.
So everything, all the concepts were pretty much based around money for the majority of the album. So that was just one of those things where, you know, so a lot of times you get inspired by your regular life. You know what I'm saying? And my mentality was at that point for sure was, can't take this shit with me, I'm spending it.
Right.
And that was pretty much the inspiration for it. You know, I've done a full 180 on that. Like I'm kind of addicted to saving money now, which is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, but it's like that was just one of those things where it was like, oh shit, that's a record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I wanted it to, and even with the premiere record, like that concept, I wanted that concept to, the Nothing to Like shit, I really wanted that concept to be heard and to resonate with people and for people to, you know, see how relatable it is and
Yeah.
how heavy it is when you really think about it. So, you know, I purposely put those concepts on those beats because I figured, you know, naturally, with me and Ninth Wonder, those would be the biggest records I drop when you attach the names to it.
Yeah. Well, you did damage on that beat, man. You did, for real.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I love that. And I love performing that record too, man.
Yeah.
I love performing both of them. I love performing both of those records, but it's just that the ninth shit, the taking it with me, like there's just something about it when you on stage and you rocking that shit, you know. But I can't wait, you know. I can't wait for Leedz to get back and to get back to doing what he does. You know what I'm saying? And I can get up there and do what I do. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. Sell some of this merch too, man. Hit the DM. I got some of these. I got new design. I got CDs. I got all that.
Yeah, your merch. You know, let's talk about your merch game because your merch game is pretty fierce. You know,
Yeah.
UST guys, man, your merch game is it's impeccable.
So my thing is this though. What I always, like you said, branding. Like I have my logo in 14K. I don't have it with me on me right now because it's whatever. I don't need it. I'm not that rapper that I feel like he got to get a shape up every time and fucking, you know what I'm saying, rock his best outfit, whatever. Shout out to my people's Tiff. So from the beginning, you know, like Term had always did like, you know, merch, what you considered merch. You know, he dropped an album, Watch How It Go Down t-shirt, right? Which is a beautiful thing. You know, I'm not in any way bashing it because rappers make a lot of bread off that shit. My thing was, and shout out to my man Mac, when I got this logo made, I said, listen, I need this shit to not look like no rapper shit. I need this shit to look like a brand. Just a brand. Don't put no fucking microphone, no fucking vinyl in my shit.
Music symbols.
Make me none of that shit. I said, make me a brand. And boom, like you see? So look, this is another design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, you know what I'm saying? So it's like this is the brand. So when I do other designs, I still stamp it. And because my thing was I wanted to make shit that you can wear when you're chilling.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a lot of rapper merch, you just wear it to their shows. You know what I'm saying? This dude's doing an install, let me throw his shirt on. This dude's performing here, let me throw his shirt on. But I wanted to make shit that, you know, all right, I'm getting fresh. I'm throwing this shit on. So that's my approach was a little different. And, you know, I wanted to do other designs that were still fresh, you know, and everything, it doesn't have to be related to an album or nothing like that. You know, just this could be a message like with the God first. But it all kind of relates back to hip hop, you know what I mean?
Right. In
some way, shape, or form. Like I did the God first was a spin on the Run DMC shit.
What was the spin?
You know what I mean?
I missed the spin on it. Because I know it was the logo.
The logo.
Oh,
the logo. Yeah, it was the red lines.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
And it's God first, same as Run DMC, you know?
Yeah, I got you on that.
And then I got another one dropping. I'm dropping it this week. So, you know, I'm just trying to keep my, you know, another thing too though is like, you know, I was seeing a therapist for a while and she was telling me that my energy seems to be at its best when I'm being creative and the wheels are turning. So I'm always thinking of ways to be creative, whether it's for music, whether it's just ideas with other shit, just coming up with ideas and being creative. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and there's other ideas that I came up with that I can't really talk about now that I'm excited about. But you know, it's just a beautiful thing. The mind is a crazy thing. It's your best friend and it's your worst enemy, right?
Why is it your worst enemy?
Because you know, when you get in your mind too crazy, you start thinking wild shit. You know what I mean? It could be your worst enemy.
Tell you lies.
That's what leads people to do, you know, poison themselves and so on and so forth, or do dumb shit, rob banks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you know, it's your best friend when you're being creative and you're utilizing it in a positive manner, and it's your worst enemy when you're using it in a negative manner.
Do you feel like you've changed a lot?
Yeah, hell yeah. If you're not evolving, you're not changing with age. It's like you're just moving backwards, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know,
you seem like you've chilled out a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I've known you for a while.
I remember. I remember the days when Leeds
come into the club like.
I remember those days where Leeds hated ST the squad, particularly me. I remember those days, and it was just like, you know, it was just. I don't know I couldn't even tell you where it came from. Maybe it just came from being drunk. Maybe it just, I don't know. But there gotta be that time where there's gotta be a turning point, right?
Yeah.
The shit is all about progressing. It's gotta be, you gotta move forward. If you find yourself, okay, well, this keeps getting me in trouble. That's fine. Let's try it this way. You know what I mean? I pride myself in being a very, very intelligent person. You know what I'm saying? But I could do very dumb shit here and there. So these days, I'm just trying to like use my mind more. Before I would just kind of do shit on impulse, and I still do from time to time. You know, I'm still human, but sometimes at some point you just gotta chill the fuck out because then people don't want to deal with you. You know what I mean? You wouldn't want to do this. You wouldn't want to do this interview back in the day. You'd be like, fuck that dude. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, you gotta be. You know what it is though too. I'm very forward. I'm very blunt, and you either really like it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned it's a delivery. You know what I mean? Like, you could be telling the truth, but where maybe I could have delivered it like Snoop, I was delivering it like DMX. You know what I mean? Like, you follow what I'm saying? Like, there's a nice way to put it, and then there was the easy money way of putting it. And the easy money way ain't always work, so I had to find a different approach. You know what I mean?
Well, it seems to be working for you, man.
Yeah, nah, everything, you know, everything is everything. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be, I'm in a real good space, bro, and my mind and my health and all that. I'm doing good. I'm doing this. I feel like I'm my youngest right now, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to keep it that way. Not with the fucking vodka, I ain't, but you know what I mean. But it is what it is. We all human here.
Well, that's what's up, man. Well, we're gonna wrap this up, man. I really appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. Like I said, Beyond Easy out now. Shout out Fabian.
Yes. Real quick. We're gonna wrap this up. Real quick. Happy's out now. Beyond Easy with Fabian is out now. Yeah. 2090 with No Z's is gonna be out in June. The Dream is Free, produced by Melks, is out in September. Yeah. We still, Chiller really likes Easy and Chill. I really like Mike and Pip, but we might lean more towards Easy and Chill because Mike and Pip it's not a Boston shit.
Yeah.
EP with Chilla Jones, produced by Manipulator, is gonna drop end of the year as well. And look for the R&B somewhere in the middle there. So there's a lot of music, a lot of content. Follow the YouTube channel as well. There's a lot of videos up there now, and there's more coming. So thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you. Hopefully we see each other in a venue soon.
We will.
You know what I mean? And salute to everyone who checked in, everyone who stuck around. I appreciate you guys, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everybody tuning in to the Leeds Edutainment Podcast. We're going to end this now with a special guest, Easy Money, ST the Squad. Salute.
Salute.